What's good, Pack Nation? Welcome to Packin with Gary. This is our live, and I went ahead and had a semi-event session earlier today. If you haven't seen it, it's out there. But I'm very, very upset about NC State's schedule. And everybody's had their, response to it so far. For me, it's more than just playing those two schools down the road, right? For me, it's not all about the rivalries. It's about the money. Okay? I don't know how this is going down. Like, when you have ADs involved and everything like that, like, who in their right mind for NC State would be like, yeah, it's okay not to have Duke or Carolina come into Lenovo. You're not even playing nobody at home. Like, you got to go out there and get some amazing out-of-conference games. Because as a season ticket holder, I'm looking like, y'all need to give me some of my money back. Like, it'd be different if our team was elite, right? Like, if we went out there and spent all the NIL and our team was like top 10, I'd be like, all right, we're excited to go see our players because we really invested in our basketball. But we done, I don't even know what you call it, shortchanged Gainey and just gave him a little bit. He proved that you can do something, make it happen. So we got a okay squad maybe. And that's what we want everybody to come see. We're not even playing any good teams. I mean, nobody is really pressed about the teams that we have in our schedule. I want to look at this schedule with y'all. Okay. Let's look at this. This is for everyone. Let's go just look at our schedule real quick. Okay. We're talking about getting excited for a Boston College home game. Right? Or Notre Dame. You know what? Maybe Pitt. SMU. Like, these home games are trash. The only one we got worth something is Louisville. One game. Nobody else has any, like, real pull to bring in the fans. I feel like this arena is going to look like Keats last year. After going to the Final Four, like, the joint was mad empty. And it's so terrible. That we setting my man Gainey up. Like, now he got to go. Just think about this. Even if Gainey is prepared to be better than what we think, right? And has the guys playing well. You're bringing these recruits in to see a very lackluster environment. It's not going to be packed. Like, not this first year. So, there's a lot of players in this upcoming class that are out of North Carolina that are, top players that we could get. And they're about to go see Lenovo looking, And it's already a struggle with all these empty seats, corporate seats that we sell out. That, it's like, oh, it's a sold-out crowd, and there's still a bunch of seats empty on the lower level. Like, that's already aggravating. But now you're trying to tell me we need to get all of these people coming in there to fill this place up for a first-year coach, for a team that on paper looks like, to play Boston College. To play Wake Forest. Like, Wake Forest is up the street, and still that game is, right? Their own fans don't come watch them get smacked at Lenovo. It is absolutely ridiculous. And financially, I don't get how State is letting this happen. Like, if you are representing NC State at that level, You got to be looking to move out the conference because they're pretty much pushing you out. At this point, it's not about the rivalries like, oh, Duke and Carolina's a more important game. It's like, yo, we're doing revenue sharing. If we're doing revenue sharing, you pretty much trying to say I can't have a bite of the revenue. I'm not going to let you play the top teams, and you're going to have to figure it out. Nah, that's the disrespect is out of control. It's out of control. And everyone's talking about, oh, rivalries are gone. It ain't even about that no more. Now we want to talk rivalries are gone. Cool. Now we got to talk about brands. Okay. And you're pretty much saying the school that has a NBA level arena can't get big brands from their own conference to come play at it. But every other year. So in between time, you got to figure it out. I'm sorry. Let me see what y'all talking about here. I'm just really bothered by this. So it looks like, you guys are still focused on Oporum or whatever his name is. David says, I'm hearing there's some eligibility issues with Oporum. We shall see. Okay. And I could believe that. I mean, we really only need the guy for like a year, so they should be able to figure that out. At this point, I mean, he's probably not even going to go to class. Who knows? David said, I want to kick their ass, Gary. I don't know who you're talking about, but if you're talking about the ACC, I'm with you. Wolfpack NBA says, do you think there's any chance the Boo and Bubba work out a Tar Hole non-conference game like we had with Virginia this past season in football? You know what? This would be a phenomenal idea. I doubt it because Carolina really doesn't care about our game like that. If you let them tell it. Financially, it makes sense, right? Like, play that game. Both schools win when we play that game. I don't get how, no matter if you believe we are a rival or not, if you were in the triangle, how do you not want to have NC State on your schedule? I don't get it. As much as they joke on us, the one thing that's accurate is we support our team regardless if they winning or not. We still showing up. And so it needs to be like, oh, we're not playing them at our house. We definitely should do a non-conference game. Like, I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense to me. It's absolutely ridiculous. James says, don't need that project. Oporum, let them go. Don't know why everyone's so hung up on them. We need bigs for this schedule we're going to have. Listen, James, everybody hung up on them because we don't have any other names. That's the only reason, right? They keep us in the dark. So they're hiding whoever they're going after. This name came out because he was on campus. Until if we get another name that we can lock on to, like, oh, there's potential big that we can get, we'll forget about this dude. But in the meantime, it's like, is that all we can get? Is that all we have? That's all we stuck on him. Also, a part of it is he reminds people of the Mo Diarra track, right? Super highly touted out of JUCO ranks, go to an SEC school, and then boom, he can come here and maybe shine. But that's probably it. Robert says, legislature will step in and make us have a home against Carolina. They need to hurry up because, yeah, right now the ACC is being super disrespectful. KLS, I don't know how to say your name. I'm sorry. But you're right. If you win, they will come. That pretty much is what is boiling down to. That's how it seems to me. It's like, you ain't won enough, so we're just going to throw you to the wayside. And that's tough. But at the same time, like, how long do you have to wait? I don't know. And that's not promised. That's the concerning part. Like, we could win and they can be like, yeah, we good on that. It's still not enough. James says, probably Duke and Carolina don't consider us as rivals. Yep, I've heard our players say that. Absolutely. I know Armando Bacot said it. Yeah, the players don't consider us a rivalry game. And again, if you're just getting in here, for me, it's not really about the rivalry part. It's the financial part. Like, as a season ticket holder, you want to see Carolina and Duke come to your home court, right? If we're being realistic, it gives us the best shot to win, right? It's very rare we go to their arenas and get a W, especially in Durham. So we want our team to win, so we definitely want them to come to Raleigh. But that game, if you're at that game, it's the only two games that are almost sold out. The only two. So financially, for our program, we need those games. Unless we go out there and we schedule some crazy great non-conference games. Like, we got to have UConn coming in the building. Michigan got to come visit. Like, we got to get crazy in the non-conference if we're not going to have those two coming to visit. Because the tickets these home games are terrible. The ones we have are terrible. Even if we had other teams, maybe. If the teams we have are absolutely terrible if you haven't seen it. We'll look at it again in a little bit. David said, people on other sites don't like the way I talk about the roster, project laden, so they need to prove it on the court. Yeah, David, people they're really not liking how I'm talking right now on my channel either. And I get it. But I'm not about to sit here in front and pretend and tell people stuff is about to be great and our team is super. And then season starts and everybody shows back up like, Gary, you said you were wrong. Listen, hey, I'd much rather be wrong about them being bad or not that good than hyping everybody up and then they're trash. Right now, I'm like, I don't like it. Just because we're foul trouble away from getting blown out. We're injury away from having a terrible season. So, yeah, everybody's like, oh, let them work. We're doing fine. Nah, we need to get to it. We need a big. We need a couple bigs. Chip says the question is, do we trust Justin Gainey enough to bring people to the games like Will Wade did? No, I don't. I think he'll be a better coach. I think the product on the floor will be better. But our fan base, you just never know. I mean, Kevin Keats went to the Final Four, and then the following year, we're having the banner raising or whatever, and it was not packed. Like, if it's not packed for that, I was like, what you got to do? Yeah, I get you don't like me, but I just got you to the Final Four, and you still won't show up for the banner. So for a first-year coach and Gainey, everybody's like, oh, let's see what he does. I'm not really convinced people are going to show out. And there's nothing in his press conference or any type of interaction with the media that gets you hyped that wants you show up to that makes you want to show up to the game, right? Like, think about this. If you had a coach that was like, look, yeah, they knew what they were doing, not having them come to our arena this year, yada, yada. You get a little pumped up. Oh, coach talking junk. But our coach is not going to do that. He's going to give very politically correct responses. He's going to stay in his lane. He's not going to give anything that they can, in no locker room material. And so in exchange, the fans are going to be like, and they just gonna wait and see how the team is playing, and it'll start trickling in. But I don't know that it's gonna happen this year. So that's the tough part. It's gonna take something else. It's gonna take some great marketing schemes, some superb theme nights. It's gonna take some discounts because these season ticket prices going up is that's not gonna work. They're gonna have to reduce those. And I already got mine, so I'm gonna need a refund if they do that. Wolfpack NBA says spot on, Gary. It's about the revenue. Not very hard to share the 10K in revenue we get from the BC game. Hey, you're being generous. I don't even know if we get the 10K. Like, the BC fans don't travel. It's a long ways for them to come down here and get smacked and watch their team lose. Yeah, and nobody's excited about going to that game. So it's wild. And here's the other thing. We're talking about TV ratings, right? So now you're not even giving us as many shots at the apple for the ratings. Like, our games are viewed. I mean, why the ACC is acting like our viewership's not through the roof in every sport. It does not matter. We're near the top in the conference in every freaking sport. We watch it. Yet they want to just treat us like trash because we haven't won. The money is there. Like, I don't understand. It's Kyle. Okay. So Kyle says there will all be non-conference games in 5 years, probably. Okay. We'll see. I mean, the conference needs a shakeup. For real. Stop just adding these random teams from all over the place. Harper says, please keep telling it like it is. Lots of rose-colored glasses out there. Yeah, they don't like what I'm saying, Robert. So we'll see. But I'm not going to sit out here and lie to everybody. James says, actually, I wish we could schedule UConn, Michigan, Arizona, some of those teams. We made the Final Four again if we played that type of sled. Natty would not be far behind. James, you're right, man. Iron sharpens iron. Like, we need to play a challenging schedule. We need to give recruits a reason to come play at NC State. Right? Like, we're not, as of now, going to have the biggest bag. And the ACC is trying to make sure we don't even have a competitive bag. But if you can tell these players, look, you're going to be on ESPN. You got game day coming. Like, if you can get these type of games, it helps. And they taking our top games away. And they got us playing all the bums. Since there's more you in here, let's look at this again. Okay. Right now, our home games. Look at this. We've got, so we don't have, let's look at the away games. Let's focus there. Okay. So we go to Carolina and Duke. We know that that's some bull. But they just came last year. So, okay, whatever. Then Virginia, we go to them. We no longer have Virginia at home. So they took that away. Virginia Tech, but we don't have that at home. Miami, Don't have that game at home. So pretty much 4 to 5 teams that are going to be probably near the top of the conference. You got UNC, maybe Duke. You got Virginia, definitely Miami. We all play on the road, right? Okay, for the schedule, strength of schedule, that'll help. But revenue-wise, us not getting home is tough. So who we get at home? Boston College. We've covered. Nobody's coming to that game. Cal, we know they're going to be trash. Notre Dame, their star player just went to Indiana, probably going to be trash. Pitt, their coach, we know, has consistently not been good. Even though he's picked up some better players this year, nobody cares about that game. So you got Pitt. Clemson. Clemson's right up the road, like 3 hours or so. Nobody really comes to there's some Clemson graduates that are like in the area, but it's not a super hype game, right? Nobody really cares about Clemson basketball. SMU, nobody cares about SMU. Wake Forest. Always get whack Wake Forest. It's a trip, man. It's an absolute trip. All right, let me see what y'all got going on over here. I'm going to get caught up. Sorry, every time I look at this schedule, I get bothered. All right. David said, we go to VCU, Tennessee, Ole Miss, and neutral site. Yes. We'll figure out the rest of the schedule from there. I hope. Because the games you named, we're not playing them at home. Again, none of this helps our revenue at the crib. We go to VCU, like you said. We go to Tennessee, Ole Miss, neutral site. Like, that's not none of those are going to be in the season tickets. None of those are going to be in the little small mini packs that they sell. So the arena's still going to look super empty when the recruits come, because we playing Pitt and Notre Dame and Boston College. James says tough schedules, Bills natties, natty caliber teams. We kick Duke, Carolina, anyone else ass. Tough schedule, Bills character, and development players, projects or not. I get what you're saying there. You went in about that kick Duke ass. I see the Carolina part. We know Duke is on another level when it comes to recruiting right now, but I like the confidence. With the NBA says, bingo, James. Hopefully we don't keep scheduling Ryder, Leeds McRae, University of North Dakota, etc. Listen, our scheduling is it's been trash. Hopefully it doesn't continue that way. Like, we're going to have to schedule very, very aggressively if we're not going to get home and home with Carolina and Duke. We have to. Financially, it's going to be a big deal. And recruiting-wise, it's going to be a big deal. We have to lean on that these kids are still going to get on TV. They're going to get on ESPN. We're not getting on ESPN if we're playing Boston College and Wake Forest is playing Carolina. Right? And nobody even cares about Wake Forest, Carolina. Like, nobody cares about that game. But these games, these matchups matter for us to get on television and for these kids to be like, oh, yeah, I want to go hoop there. We will be forgotten if we don't start getting better scheduling. So we have, if the ACC can continue to do us dirty like this, we got to schedule our non-conference better. And I'm hoping, guys, so far, the only game that I feel like Gainey has put in the mix is that Tennessee game. Ole Miss was from last year. That's something that was set up. VCU last year, something that was set up. So right now, it's only one game that I feel like he's put in the mix. I need to see my man start cooking. I know he's been focused on the roster building, but now he sees that ain't going to be enough. Because even with the expanded field, we're going to have to do something else. We can't be expected to take this team he's put together and go win at Carolina, at Duke, at Virginia, at Miami. That's 4 L's right there. We do not have the squad to go to these guys' courts and win. And if y'all believe we do, I'm sorry. Like right now, we do not. I believe these are the type of players that'll be phenomenal at home, but I don't see them going on the road just turning into stars. So that is concerning. James says, expect our RPI and strength of schedule possibly could take a hit if it's a weak ACC again. I like a strong ACC when the conference is good, so are our tournament chances. You're right. And if the ACC is weak, we are in trouble. Hopefully, these teams that are on our home schedule are good, or they're going to be a bunch of quad 3, quad 4 games that we're playing. Right? That is the other part of this. The likeliness that Notre Dame is good is very low. The likeliness that they are decent is low. Same thing with Boston College, right? I'd much rather play both of those on the road than have them as home games. Louisville, we know, should probably be quad 1. And Florida State's probably going to be a lot better than what people think, just because that I like their coach. He know what he's doing. So I do think they will be decent, but don't nobody care about us playing Florida State. I don't care how good they are. David, listen. If somehow, some way, the scheduling gods rewarded us with LSU coming to Lenovo, that game alone will make up for like 2 or 3, right? Like it is, when they say sold out, it'll probably be for real sold out. They should do some standing room only. Like I know they got the new bar on the 300 level. Go ahead and push everybody in there since you took some seats out. That game will make up for a couple of our emptier games. But the way we being done right now, schedule-wise, I don't even have confidence that's going to happen. I really don't. James says, F LSU and Will the Snake Wade. We don't need to do him any favors. I hear you, but I sort of want that lick, though. Like, I feel like that could generate the buzz you need from your fan base, right? You come and you get that win. Okay, then you got a little bit of pop to your team. Maybe people start showing up. Now, if you lose that game, it's very, very bad. It's high. It's a high risk, high reward. But man, yeah, you can't lose that game. You got to win it. You got to. I mean, no matter what, you got to win that game. David says, this isn't an athletic roster. It's more skilled than athletic. Absolutely. Way more skill. We have possibly 2 players that may play more above the rim, and one of them's a guard. It's like Comey or whatever. It's probably one of the more athletic guys that we have so far. Adams Athleticism's okay. And I'm trying to think of bigs. I mean, I know that Evans is a leading shot blocker, but I ain't necessarily gonna call him super athletic. Like he's got good timing and everything and athletic enough. But yeah, we don't have any real super athletes that you're like, whew, that got different. He moves different. We don't have any of those. Not right now. And I don't think we're going to get one at this point. So I hope Gainey's coaching is phenomenal. Wolfpack NBA says, I hate everything that Wade did, but he was not afraid of scheduling tough non-conference games. I agree. I'll leave it at that. James says project players can regress just as well as progress. I agree with you, Gary. Unless Justin turns out to be a miracle worker, they have to prove themselves at the P4 level. They do. I mean, the thing is, the majority of the time, these kids step up a level and do not produce more. They either stay where they were at or less. We got a whole roster full. So, yeah, we're going to need some help. I'm going to leave it at that. So let me ask y'all this. If NC State has to look out for themselves and make a move and leave the ACC, because the way the ACC is operating, it looks like they're trying to create that exodus. Should we go SEC or Big Ten? Because football-wise, we're holding our own out of our conference. I mean, I know they say that Carolina has a better brand, but overall, I believe, we're doing our thing with all the other sports. And we've been smacking them in football. So, unless they light the world on fire this year in basketball, we're pretty much about even. That's what I think. See, y'all let me know. Do we look to the SEC? Or is it the Big Ten? I do want to know that. David says Big Ten. Tell me why, David. What is your thought behind that? David also says Whitty probably the best athlete on the team. He's bouncy, but he don't have enough quick twitch for me. Like Whitty will go get on the rim, and he to be a smaller guard. I've seen his highlights, but he's not shifty enough from side to side for me to call him like the best athlete. If he was doing some type of shuttle drill and was tested on his time, I don't think he's gonna have the fastest time. Just moving from side to side. Yeah, that's just my 2 cents on that. But you could be right because he can jump. James says Snake Wade basically just went with the schedule that was presented to him. He knew he'd just be here that 1 year. James Johnson says if Justin keeps most of this roster that he has assembled, I think we'd be a much better b-ball team next year. This year, I was not going to have room. This year is probably going to have growing pains, I believe is what you're saying. And I agree. And, he says he's trying to build a program. So Gainey's probably like, look, I got these guys. They're good enough to not embarrass me, but they'll be very good if I have a year with them. Cool. But if you go this way and you take this approach and you have a lackluster year, betting on having a huge bounce back year, and these jokers leave you and you have to start all over, then you're going to look crazy. And you're probably not going to be here for a very long time. Like, this is a huge risk, high reward that he's doing. He's betting on, I'm going to build these relationships with these guys. I'm going to pour into them. They're going to understand how much they've developed, and they love NC State, and they're not going to leave. Now, the other side of that is they don't do enough to be courted by other schools. So it's a safe bet, right? No one's lighting the world on fire, so they're coming back anyway. I mean, that could be a thing, but I really don't want to go through a year like that. Like, think of the scenario we're talking about here, guys. We're talking a subpar basketball team. If this happens, this is a crazy scenario. Subpar basketball team. Subpar attendance because we're not playing anybody. Okay. Bringing in recruits to watch a subpar basketball team and subpar attendance. Subpar revenue because our team was not playing anyone and people didn't want to come watch the team that was playing. And then we go into the next year with everything getting more expensive with the inflation of everything continuing. It's a terrible scenario. I'm hoping it don't play out that way, but it could be a crazy domino effect. Wolfpack NBA says if conferences make any sense anymore, then I'd say we are more neutral, more natural fit for the SEC. Okay. David says he picks the Big Ten because of revenue. SEC sucks. I hear you. James says I'll say Big Ten also. I'll say this time Big Ten right now is the best conference. Okay. I mean, they have the national champion in football and basketball, don't they? Yeah. Seems like the place to go. David says NCSU is cheap with, I'm assuming that's the NIL. And continues to say, we can't even afford to pay bigs at this point. Jeez. Listen, I've been fussing about bigs for a few weeks now, so I'm gonna leave that alone for right now. We give that topic a little rest and just talk about other stuff because it's exhausting at this point. Let's look at the entire ACC schedule here. All right. So as we look at this, let's just start from the top. So you got Boston College. I mean, they're home and home. Nobody cares. Let's move down. Okay, Duke gets Carolina. And they get Virginia. Louisville. They get Carolina, SMU. Carolina gets Duke, Louisville. We get Wake Cal, which is crazy. We don't even play Syracuse, which I don't care about that. Virginia gets Virginia Tech. Well, that's good. And Duke. So they do care about that rivalry. And if for some reason they think we care about this Wake Forest NC State game. But this is just I don't know. I try to look at this and make sense of why why it needs to why these teams are spread all out. Like, I mean, you got Georgia Tech, Clemson, SMU, okay, but then you got Miami and Pitt. Like, what are we doing? Notre Dame, Wake Forest. It doesn't make sense. Let's see what y'all talking about here. Robert says, you think we can really compete in those conferences? That's what absolutely we can compete. Like, to start out, if we got in that conference, win? No. But over time, yes, we can compete in both of them. I'd have no concerns about that. Like, we'll never be one of those schools that's just stuck at the bottom, especially like in football. Like, nah, that's not happening. Yeah, I have confidence we'd be just fine. Oh, that's Maryland. Okay. Well, don't nobody care about Maryland. Eddie says, hi, Gary. Sorry I'm joining late. I hate this ACC schedule set up. Our home and home with Cal is ridiculous. Yes, it is. ACC only caters to the blue bloods. You are right. Eddie, we have covered how silly it is, and we are talking about if we need to roll out and join the SEC or Big Ten. Like, when that opportunity arises, do we need to move first? Because we're not being treated as a founding member of our conference at all. So I don't know what the loyalty's about. I'd be looking to follow the check. James said it would be a sad day if NC State has to leave the ACC. I've been a Pac fan since 1972. I'm also an ACC fan. So it will leave a hole in my heart. We have natural rivalries here in our conference. James, I hear you. Like, I hear you. But you see how they're doing this. They do not care about these natural rivalries. They do not care about us being 25 miles apart. They don't care about any of that. They do not care about the attendance of these games. They don't care that the alumni are in the same household and raising kids together. They don't care about any of that. They're not even chasing a bag at this point. They're not like, oh, we need to make as much money as possible, because if they were doing that, they'd put all the regional teams playing each other. Like, you try to make the schools close to each other, play each other, and then the one-off games be the ones that are spread out to fill a schedule every single year. So I don't know. At this point, it's almost like they're like, if we mess this thing up enough, maybe they'll just leave on their own. David says, you have the best form around, Gary. The rest of them don't answer the subscriber. And yes, the ACC schedule sucks. Hope the league is strong next year. David, you know what? I appreciate that comment. And that's something I really want to do with you all, is answer what you're talking about. I want this to be somewhere where you say your 2 cents and it's heard, right? Instead of, you just post on a little wall and that's it. Now we're going to talk about your topic. So I appreciate that. Appreciate you saying that. James with the follow-up. Love your forum too, Gary. Love the topics and competitive banter. Keep it coming, guys. It's only It only works when you all contribute. So I thank you. David said, hate to see it go. Also, watching ACC games since 1969. James said, understand the dynamics of college sports is all money driven. It's always about the money, though. Listen, I thought it was always about the money, but there's just no way you can convince me. I would love to see the numbers that say not having Duke and State play twice generates more revenue. Having NC State go to Cal and Cal come to NC State generates more revenue. There's no freaking way. I mean, it's just not a thing. It's not a thing. That's like trying to tell somebody the daggone Alabama Missouri game is a game that needs to be played every year. Like, stop it. Stop it. Nobody cares about that. Nobody cares about that game. Wolfpack NBA says, heck, I think ChatGPT could have made a better schedule than this. Look, easily, right? They obviously are not using AI at all because it definitely would have been this bad. My thing is, and you all let me know because I'm not aware, when they're going through this schedule, are ADs involved? Athletic directors from each school, do they have a say-so? Do they vote on this stuff? Because did Boo just sit there and let this happen? That's my next, like, real beef is, Boo, did you have a vote, a say-so in this schedule and was like, yeah, I'm good. I like that for my first-year coach. I like that for my program, for my school, and our already limited resources, as it seems. Because if you did, Boo, you're tripping. And we need to keep our eye on you because that's some sabotage stuff. If you had some say-so in this. Like, what is really going on? See, some of you are just getting into the live. I'll do a quick recap. We don't like our schedule. That's pretty much what it is. We're here talking about how poor the schedule is and the opportunity not to have good teams come play and how we're going to have to do more in the non-conference. That's what we're discussing. No one that I've seen yet has come in here and said, whoa, this is the best schedule ever. We love it. Can't wait till basketball season with all these great home games we have. Have not seen that message yet. I'm waiting for it, but no one has said that. So for those of you who are just chiming in, I'll put the schedule up if you haven't seen it. I'm sure you have. This is our schedule. Take your time, digest it. We'll continue on or circle back for you if we need to. David says, does Duke and Carolina play twice? Absolutely. You know that every year. It's their staple, like Wake Forest for us. Their other game changes all the time, but that's their main matchup, which is, fine. But to give us Kyle, that's, I don't know. I just feel this blatant disrespect, and they're not even trying to hide it at this point. It's different when you give us referees and these guys making terrible calls and nothing happens. And okay. It's different when we go play at Carolina and they get all the calls. Okay. But now now you're doing a little too much. Now you're playing with the money, not the outcome of games, but the money. All right, so a couple of you have had an opportunity to look at the schedule now, and it's bad. It's bad. We're not going to spend a lot of time on it because I've let you review it, and we've already done that already up until this point, 50 minutes. But if you're just getting in, we're talking about our home games and how lackluster that is, and our non-conference is going to have to be amazing. If you are a season ticket holder, I want to know, have you bought your tickets already? And if you haven't, are you still buying with this slot of games? Does the game lineup matter for you? When you're looking like, oh, I'm going to get season tickets this year, does it matter who we're playing at home, or is it you're just being a great supporter of NC State athletics? If it's the latter, that's great. You're a very, very nice person. It's cool supporting your alma mater. But some people are like, I mean, if I owned a business that purchased season tickets, right? If I was a business that purchased season tickets or had like a box or something like that, I'd be like, look, I can't even give these away. What we doing? I got one game that I could be like, oh, raffle. Other than that, people are going to be like, nah, I'm good. I don't want to buy a ticket. The ticket's $5. It's okay. I might win and get Boston College. Nobody wants to see that. So, look, guys, I'm going to get off of here. I have vented. I feel better. I'm still upset about the schedule, but we will move on. We will keep our fingers crossed that our non-conference schedule is amazing. We'll be in some type of multi-team tournament, so hopefully there's some good teams there. But, of course, that's not going to help the home games. So hopefully we can get somebody to come to Raleigh and play in Lenovo. It's a pretty good team. We'll do the home and home, hopefully, with a big-time team and bring all the recruits to that one game to sell it out. But until next time, Pack Nation, please, as always, like, subscribe, share the channel with your Wolfpack family, your friends. Make sure they know about it. Let them know. They can come up here and get their 2 cents heard. Until next time, go Pack.